Buenos dias, Gunners Collective TV. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict. Buy up, buy up. And in Menudo style in direct fashion, we're going to get straight into the content of the day. But before we do, let's hit that like and subscribe button. Put your notification bell on all. I humbly appreciate everything that I get, man. So thank you guys very much for helping this channel grow, man. And we're growing tremendously. And it's up to you to make it happen, man. And I appreciate when you do. So Wes Watson, man, I did a video earlier talking about, him possibly being arrested, and he's going to go through some trying times. Most definitely, man. Well deserved, because when you put feet and hands on a man who's curled up, who has mental issues, you're a piece of shit. And that's just straight up, man. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. And every previous video he's done on his channel, man, talking about being a shot caller and being aggressive in prison and doing all the things he said he did, whether he did them or not, will be used against him. But let's talk about a civil lawsuit, the process, right? And how Wes Watson is going to lose millions of dollars. Most definitely, right? If for some reason Wes Watson is charged criminally, he has a lot of action. He definitely has a lot of action. It depends on state. It depends on law. It depends on city ordinances. It depends on a lot of different things, right? The fact remains, he definitely assaulted someone who had given up, who had curled up, who had balled up, who had said enough is enough, right? And them 6 or 7 or 8 kicks, there was like 4 or 5, 6, there was at least 8 kicks on me. Those kicks that happened at the end of that fight when the man was curled up and balled up on the ground in that gym are going to definitely be the thorn in Wes Watson's side forever. Okay, what goes up? Guess what? You piece of shit, Wes Watson, they must come down, right? And he's going to come down. He's going to lose millions of dollars because of this. Because a civil lawsuit will be filed. If it's not filed by the individual, he's going to be reached out to and it's going to be filed in his behalf. Most definitely. And civil litigation is different from criminal. Okay, criminal prosecution is pretty hard. You got to have evidence, and there's a preponderance of evidence here, man. There's videotape. There's Wes bragging about the fight. There's Wes trying to spin it. He's definitely just told on himself. The telling is in him. You could tell he has telling eyes. How those green eyes just light up when he tells, right? So he definitely told on himself. So he's gonna put his lawyer in a situation where his lawyer's going to be scratching his head thinking, how are they going to defend this? Okay, how are they going to defend you brutally assaulting a mentally challenged person? Now, I've heard a lot of people talk about this guy's mentally challenged. Have we actually seen him mentally challenged? Like, do we know this for a fact? Or is this just something Wes was saying to clown this individual and it backfired and slapped him right in his fucking ugly mouth? Right? We don't know. I don't know. Who knows if this guy really does have some issues or he doesn't? Regardless of that, any person that's mentally challenged, it's not a good look when you do what you do to them, especially if you're assaulting them. But a man's a man, no matter what. And you got to understand that. So with Wes Watson doing what he did, if he's criminally charged, yes, he will be looking at jail time. Prison time, I don't know. Like I said, it depends on state laws and it depends on this man's past. Now, according to Wes Watson, he has this criminal crazy past. He's a shot caller everywhere he goes. He's a level 4 inmate. All these videotapes will be used against him in a court of law. All these things will come up. All this pumping iron with the Sharmuta cartel is not going to be shown in jail, in court. They don't care about you and how you work out. All they care about is your mentality. And yes, Wes Watson, you will be piss tested. And if it was roid rage, pobre, see, they're going to have your head up your ass faster than they had Chris Benoit in the WWE. I'm telling you right now, roid rage will kill this whole guy's vibe. Don't let them kill your vibe. They'll still kill your vibe. They'll kill his vibe. Because roid rage is nothing to play with. It's something that is medically been looked at, and it's real. It's real, man. People lose their capacity to think straight, and they have a lot of testosterone pushing through them, and their body and their mental reacts differently than the average everyday person who's not under the influence of drugs. Basically, it's just a drug that builds your testosterone, allegedly, right? With Wes, small PP, big traps. He's good. So if he is criminally charged, then, you know, his lawyer has an uphill battle because of Wes Watson's big mouth. But what if this civil lawsuit takes place, which I'm hearing it's going to? I believe Wes Watson will lose millions. See, a lot of the evidence that they use in criminal cases, they don't need in a civil lawsuit. Civil lawsuits, man, usually go in the direction of the victim or the person that files the lawsuit. You know, in the O.J. Simpson trial, we all remember it. Hey, where were you that day? Put a comment. Let me know, where were you that day when O.J. Simpson, first of all, the chase, and when he was found not guilty. Where were you? I can tell you exactly where I was. I was in Fred C. Nellis, the California Youth Authority. We were all watching it. It was on both TVs. And we kept up with it, man, because we were interested. It was an interesting time. It was interesting in the timeline of life, right? Especially people from California that, you know, were right there in Los Angeles area when all the shit was going down. But what a lot of people don't know that didn't keep up with that case was, yeah, albeit that O.J. Simpson was found not guilty criminally, he was found guilty in a civil lawsuit, and the victims' families were awarded millions of dollars, which is why O.J. Simpson went broke and was trying to sell his old fucking memorabilia, and ended up going to prison over assaulting someone over that, right? So trip out on this. Wes Watson, all these millions of dollars he says he has, he better turn in those rentals. He better go hide something in his mother's backyard, because they're coming for that. There's definitely going to be lawyers that reach out on behalf of the victim and do some civil litigation. And I'm going to tell you right now, it does not look good for Wes, just like it didn't look good for OJ. Regardless if you beat the case in a court of law as far as criminal, civil lawsuits, they're different. They just don't need as much evidence, man. And there's more than a mountain and more than enough evidence right there on that videotape, and Wes boasting and bragging about what he did to this guy, and how this guy couldn't even fight back or didn't fight back, right? That right there in itself is a wrap. Guilty, lawsuit, done. Millions of dollars for pain, suffering, and don't let this guy really be mentally challenged, because if that's the case, they could say you only furthered, you know, what he has going on. It's crazy. It's crazy the way law works, but that's just the way it is. You know, a civil lawsuit is much different from a criminal lawsuit, and it's something definitely Wes Watson has to look forward to. You know, the cool part about the situation is not only may this man lose in a court of law if he's charged criminally, but he can also be sitting in prison or sitting in the county jail doing time and lose the civil lawsuit as well, and get out to a whole lot of nothing, to back and a park bench getting shit on by the Seagulls in San Diego. You know, oh, how the mighty has fallen. You know, it's incidences like this when you put yourself on blast and you call people out and you're trying to play the tough guy role, and you're extending to everyone that you're wide open for a fade. You're trying to prove to strange men that you're tough, right? And albeit he might have had hands, he might have put the dude on his back and put some kicks and some uppercuts to him. But at the end of the day, what does that prove? Zero. Zip. Okay? All that proves is you want to fight. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Who hasn't in their life? If you haven't, you know, watch Wes Watson and live vicariously through him, but also continue to live through him when he's in jail and he loses everything that he hasn't even worked hard for, that he bamboozled everyone out of. And that only brings up other things. See, when civil lawsuits and criminal lawsuits happen, they go deep into your history. So, and it's all public record. So Wes Watson's criminal history will be explained and exposed everywhere he's been, everything he's done, every grievance or case that he has filed, you know, is going to be exposed, and it's just going to come crumbling down on Wes Watson's fucked up forehead. You know, he won't be able to hoop the amount of paperwork he's going to be dealing with. Literally, it's going to be a crazy situation, and he will lose millions of dollars. Now, according to Wes Watson, he's worth upwards of $50 million to $100 million. That's his thing. That's what he says he's worth, right? But lo and behold, if he's not, the few millions that he does have in the bank are going to be right there in that brother's pocket, so that brother can buy fucking lollipops and watch old Wes Watson videos all day long on a big 90-inch screen. That's right. The game is to be sold, not to be told. Wes Watson, you told it, so you sold it. And that's just how that is. You know, he's going to have a good lawyer, because one thing with civil lawsuits is your lawyers are different. They're different lawyers. I mean, you can have your lawyers. Some lawyers don't practice civil litigation. They practice, you know, just criminal. Just like you have family lawyers and you have criminal lawyers and you have civil lawyers. There's different lawyering going on. Wes Watson's going to need to do that, and that's going to cost him a lot of money. All these lawyers. He's just definitely put himself in a situation all because of his big fat fucking mouth, his pointy ears, his dumb green eyes, his fucked up forehead, and his big asshole. All that wrapped up in one is the man we see right there before us, Wes Watson, and he's in a bad situation that he put himself in. One, by calling out individuals. And I said it in a video a few days before this shit happened. Hey, you reap what you sow. You don't know. You know what you look like, and everyone else knows what you look like as a content creator, as a public figure, but you don't know what they look like when they're coming for you, right? Well, guess what? I hope you know what the civil lawsuit looks like, because it's coming for you, regardless if he gets charged criminally. Now, do I think he's going to be charged criminally? I think eventually he will. I think because it's being pushed so much on social media, and because there's a lot of people that hate him to the point that they want to see him incarcerated, I think eventually the district attorney will take a look at this case. I hear in Florida, man, they don't fuck around. They put you in prison for parking tickets, right? They're not playing. So to be honest with you, man, I think Wes Watson has a high mountain to climb. But if you take this man's money, the only thing Wes Watson has, besides a large amount of testosterone running through his fucking calves, the only thing this man has is his money. Imagine if you take the money away from Wes Watson, the type of man he is. He really has no hustle. He has no Chuck Basher. Watch how quick the strength cartel, the Sharmutas, watch how quick. The commodity is out of there, homie. I'll take my watermelon back, right? Watch how quick. Hey, dog, you ain't got no money, dog? Hey, dog, you can't come in my gym, dog. Nah, because you be telling people to pull up and fight, dog. I'm cool, dog. Nah, doggy. Keep that energy, dog. Keep that same energy when you had millions. Now that you don't, doggy. Keep that energy, doggy. Yeah, the Bugatti was rented, doggy? Ah, doggy, right? And that's how that's going to go. That's the conversation between the Sharmuts and Poop Butt here, right? MC Poop Butt. Because imagine Wes without millions of dollars that he bamboozled people out of anyways. It's going to be a hard road. Now, Wes Watson said in one of his videos recently, millions come and they go. He's a true millionaire, man. Hey, he can go broke and make it right back. Not from a jail cell. You can't. You know, not from a situation where you're ducking and dodging the real woods, brother. Not in a situation where no one wants to fuck with you anymore because you beat up on mentally challenged individuals. You know, this is a hard hole to climb out of. You know, what did Homie Hangout say? Shout out Homie Hangout. He said, the way to dig yourself out of a hole, stop digging, right? And Wes Watson definitely has dug a very deep hole here. And as far as the civil lawsuit goes, I believe one will be filed, and I believe Wes Watson will lose because of that video that he showed, because of the ego, because of everything he said, you know, trying to cover it up and say this guy was 7 foot, this guy was a gangster. Wes Watson, you just got Dago put on the back of your head to try to play gangster. So now when someone runs up on you, they're a 7 foot tall gangster, but really this guy was like 6 foot and didn't look too gangsterish at all. Are you saying because a black dude has cornrows, he's a gangster? We don't want to go there, Mr. Kamamamadidi, right? I'll say this, and I'll say this well, right? If he does get a civil lawsuit pushed on him, he's going to lose millions of dollars. And it's going to be all thanks to that 6, 7, 8, 9 kicks that he did at the end, or punches that he did at the end, excuse me. Every punch is worth $1 million, you know? And if you think there aren't lawyers lawyering up, waiting in the cuts to get someone like Wes Watson and Egomaniac, guess what? Them lawyers are going to come at him and they're going to take him down. And again, everything will be brought up. Taxes, you know, pyramids, everything that he's been involved in up to date will be exposed. And believe me, if Wes Watson has any skeletons to hide in his closet, you better stay the fuck up out the way, because it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly fast, right? Now, say he gets charged criminally, right? And he beats it. Say he uses the stand your ground stance, which I understand. If someone runs up on you, hits you from the side, yeah, you could fight him off. I mean, I would. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't stand their ground, right? And that's a stand their ground state, Florida, right? Who wouldn't? But when someone's already curled up, he's not standing anymore. You're standing over him as he's laying on the ground and you're socking him. That is different. You know, that is a situation where now you went from being attacked to the aggressor. You know, that's just like a situation where someone turns around to run. If you shoot them from behind, you're an aggressor. You should have just let them go. They were already calling no harm, no foul, right? Does it make Wes Watson look any better, the fact that he defended himself? No, it makes him a man, you know, hopefully, you know, I don't know. But where he went from mannish to womanish was when he kept hitting this guy that was curled up. That if he does have mental issues, man, come on, Wes should know better than that. You know, when you're a positive individual, a life coach, you should be helping people to process life. You should be teaching them the fundamentals of life and all the positivity and the good things that come with life, not just how to fucking strain your fucking chest muscles, right? You should be showing them the way. And this was definitely a bad look. So say he somehow mysteriously, the magician and his lawyer gets him cleared of these charges, right? That doesn't mean he beats the civil lawsuit. In fact, I'm here to tell you right now, 100%, if he does get a civil lawsuit brought against him, he's going to lose. I said it here first, right? And he's going to lose a lot of money. And he might go into default. He might go into a situation where he's losing more money than he can make. Okay, because the lawyers are going to want their share. I mean, it takes a lot to stay out of prison, especially when you're stupid enough to show the video of you assaulting someone on YouTube, dumbass, right? Straight snitching on yourself. You know what I mean? Tell him Wes. This is Tell him Wes Wednesday. Is today Wednesday? Tuesday? I don't know what today is, but Wes told him. One thing I'll say is for sure that if he does go through a civil case, he's going to lose and it's going to be a lot of money. And imagine this individual without money. That's all he has. That's his shield. See, Wes Watson is one of those guys that's never really had money. He tells people all these stories, but I tapped in with someone who knows him, like someone that he owes a lot of money to, that every time he gets a hold of Wes Watson on some type of social media platform, Wes Watson blocks him because he owes him $38,000 for we won't speak on what, but he does, right? True stories. The homie knows Wes Watson. He grew up around Wes Watson. He knows Wes Watson well. He knows Wes Watson's ex-wife, his family very well. And Wes Watson knows exactly who I'm talking about, right? And this individual told me that Wes Watson, you know, he was out there selling his little bud or whatever, doing his little thing that got him incarcerated ultimately. But towards the end there, Wes Watson got tweaked out. And, you know, the rims that he always talks about, he had on that. I don't know if it went from an Escalade to a Range Rover and back to a white Escalade, right? Whichever it was, the homie says it was a Range Rover, and I believe him. He said Wes Watson came to the pad, and just before he got locked up, and them Daytons weren't there no more. He smoked them. Smoked those Daytons up. Smoked them in the focal, right? So, and I mean, if he gets high, he gets high. You know, don't get high on your own supply, get high on the homies, and then don't pay him, huh? But I'll say this about Wes Watson. He wasn't all that, right? He never really had money. He was selling a little weed here and there, allegedly, and he got a little paper, but he was never really having millions like he's having now. So he uses this as a shield. This is what makes him think he's better than everyone. This is what makes him think that he could assault people and show videos online. This is what makes him think he's better than me or you. This is why so many people hate him. It's not that there's a campaign to slander Wes and go in on him. It's because of the way he acts. Imagine if Wes was humbled and said, you know what, look, man, yeah, I was in prison over here. And look, just by his paint job, the way he tells his story, he's a good storyteller, man. I think Wes Watson could have humbled himself and made even more money than he does now. But he doesn't have that in him because he has the characteristics of an individual that never had money. See, I've been around people like that. They get a little bit of paper, they're better than you all of a sudden. The same motherfucker that didn't have nothing, man, you know what I'm saying, and was surviving off Taco Bells and Top Ramens, now all of a sudden got a little bit of paper, and man, you can't tell him shit. That's Wes Watson. So imagine if he's stripped of these millions. Imagine if he loses, gets a settlement against him for 30, 40, $50 million, and he loses. Then what does he have? He'll be bitter, not better. He'll need a life coach. You know, I got you, Wes, for fucking $13,000. Fuck it. Gangbang. 14. You know what I'm saying? I got you. I got you. Like you charge everyone else $20,000, $30,000 for a meet and greet. Give me $2,500, bro, and I'll meet you and I'll greet you straight up. And I'll give you a kick in the ass on the way out too for the mentally challenged guy, because I'm not, right? Again, man, we'll see what happens. But I think, I talked to someone else and he was like, yeah, bro, they're going to hit him with a civil lawsuit. What do you guys think? Do you think he's going to be able to rebound from all this mess? Do you think, people are just reaching at this point? I don't think it's reaching. I think Wes Watson's going to lose millions of dollars, man. And I think he's going to lose it fast. And I think he's going to lose it from a jail cell. And he definitely has no one to blame but his dumb ass. Thank God. Because if it was Big Boy and them around, he would have definitely snitched on them. 100%. With that being said, thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in, and that's the betterment of all people. For those of you that don't know, I have a second channel, The Collective Clips. Make sure you guys tap in. I'm dropping bangers over there. Go like and subscribe if you're not subscribed over there. That helps me out tremendously. I'm trying to get to 100K. I appreciate all the humble support. Thank you guys so much, man. Wes Watson, you're going to be broke. You're going to be broker than me. And that's fucking broke, bro. Crazy.